Kamala Harris has picked the biggest nutcase you could possibly pick as her running mate. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, brought to you by Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing, who will never sell you a roof you do not need, online at laportaroofing.com. Okay, so Kamala picked this guy who looks like he's 75 years old. He's 60, her age. They're both 60. Looks like he's 75, 80. The governor of Minnesota, Walz.
I mean, this guy is 7 years older than you.
Oh, thanks a lot for
No, I'm just saying.
Yes.
You look really good. I mean, you look young for your age. And this guy looks old for his age. I mean, you look like you're 30 years apart.
Well, I think the reason he's aged is because he's insane. And, you know, as the conversation goes on, we'll get into some details. But
Trump looks younger than this guy.
But this guy, Biden, almost looks younger than this guy. This guy that she picked, he's during the
he's pretty crazy.
BLM riots in Minnesota, his wife left the house unlocked and the windows open because they wanted to be a part of the movement, where they wanted to be victims.
Of course, she didn't go out in the streets.
No.
She just opened her windows to smell the burning tires.
Exactly.
What a nut.
He put tampons in the boys' bathroom in the schools of Minnesota.
Yeah, that's normal.
He changed the flag of Minnesota to resemble the Somalian flag.
Oh, my God.
He's got a stolen valor thing going on.
Dare I say it, he's more radical than her.
He is a white Black Lives Matter guy. And I've had a theory that I've been telling you guys for weeks, and everyone thinks I'm nuts. And I think that Kamala's pick today with the governor of Minnesota backs up what I'm saying. Now, I've been telling you all that Trump is ahead in all the battleground states. She picked a guy from one of the bluest states, Minnesota. Minnesota, that's where Walter Mondale's from and Paul Wellstone. And also Al Franken is Minnesota. So Minnesota is a very left-wing place. It's as left-wing as San Francisco in different ways because, you know.
Why is that? Are there, does it have a history of factories and unions? I don't really know that.
I don't know why.
I know Tim, who's from Minnesota, is the guy from Home Improvement.
That's too far north for me. It's too cold.
He's a conservative.
I don't know why, but it's a frozen liberal Looney Tune land, okay? The whole state. And this guy, there's not an issue that
he's from Michigan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's not an issue that he and his wife are not crazy on. I got a clip of his wife I'm going to play later that will just blow your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, they're both, when I say insane, I'm here to tell you that if they went under a mental health examination, Walz and his wife, okay, by professionals like therapists, psychiatrists, and psychologists, I do believe they could be committed. They're that crazy. These people are nuts, okay? So her picking him. Trump's ahead in all of the battleground states. The election is decided in the battleground states. There's 7 of them this time, okay? The number of toss-up states changes election to election. Florida, we used to be one. We're not now. We're solid red.
Right, that's true.
There's 7 battleground states. Trump is ahead in all of them.
Even Axelrod said that on CNN.
Yeah, the polls that you're seeing on TV where they have Kamala ahead or them, those are national polls. Okay, the national polls don't matter because they include all the states and most of the states are decided, right? Like the national polls include left-wing Minnesota, California, Oregon, New York, stuff like that. So the battleground states are where things are decided. And there were 3 people on the list. Walz was he was number 3, but so far down as a number 3. No one thought he was serious. The choices that she was going to make were Kelly from Arizona and the governor of Pennsylvania. Arizona and Pennsylvania, Trump's ahead in both of them, but they're both swing states, okay? And the fact that Kamala picked this guy from liberal Looney Tune land, Minnesota, that is not a swing state. It's a blue state. Although some people have talked that it's possible, but I don't know. But it's a solid blue state. Shows that the Democrats have, in my opinion, accepted that Donald Trump is going to win the presidency. They accepted this after the debate. They have no intention because they know there's no hope to win the presidency. They know Trump's going to win. the reason she picked this guy and not one of the guys from the battleground states is because it's hopeless. See, with Kelly, who's a traitor, he's in business with China, and he should really be investigated. He's got this spy balloon company of which the CP are partners.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, he has a spy balloon company. Mark Kelly, Senator
that's
Mark Kelly.
Not suspicious.
I couldn't believe this. And
Are those his balloons flying over the country?
They very well may have been. But, he has...
wow, this guy was an astronaut. What a traitor.
He has some of the top security clearance we have because he's a NASA astronaut, too. And he should be investigated to see what he's given China. And then you got the governor of Pennsylvania. Both of these guys would help them in their states. I mean, they're both elected statewide, so they would both help. They may not help them carry the state, the Democrats, but it would give them a chance at one of these battleground states, and they've totally kissed that goodbye. So the Democrats believe Trump's going to win. The battleground states are Trump's. There's nothing they can do. In fact, even if Trump lost Pennsylvania, which he's not, and they know he's not, that's why they didn't pick the Pennsylvania governor, he'd still win the Electoral College. So what I was saying weeks ago was this, and I think what happened today proves me right. I'm sorry, I'll lose my train of thought. I've been up for like 3 days. Okay, I'm getting a little loopy.
Quite all right.
I'm getting a little loopy. I was talking about this after the debate when they started the push to get Biden to step down. They've accepted they're going to lose the presidency, and their internal polling is telling them not just that they're going to lose Congress, both houses probably, definitely the House. They're not going to get the House back. They're going to lose in the Senate. But some of the old guard Democrats in both houses, people that have been there 20, 30 years or more, that their seats are in jeopardy. And what I think they did with this choice was put this radical nut job, because it's being widely reported that Pelosi pushed to have Walz picked. Okay. They put this liberal BLM nut job on to churn out some of their activist votes to help them in congressional races. I think that not only is Trump going to win, I think the Democrats know he's going to win.
Well, you and I talked about this in the car today, running errands, and you had told me the other day that you think that they did not want Kamala to be the nominee.
Correct.
And Biden came out and endorsed her, and that pissed them off. And Obama really wanted Kelly to be chosen. So I just saw on Twitter that they asked 12 people to be her VP, and nobody wanted to do it. And I think Obama and Pelosi told these people not to run with her, that they're pissed off, and this was the bottom of the barrel. And I want to, just for some levity here, it's pretty funny on X, Terrence K. Williams asked the question, what should the campaign slogan be for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz? So here's some good ones. Walz, Harris, since you can't vote, Hamas, Stalin. Chaos United.
Yeah, that's good.
Here's one, Dumb and Dumber. That's obvious. Harris and Walz, Bringing the Fire. A tampon you can trust. And here's a good one, Make America Burn Again.
Yeah,
I like that one. That's MABA, Make America Burn Again. That's a good one, since all the cities burned down and they love Antifa and Black Lives Matter. I think that's a good one.
Okay. What happens a lot, and you guys can let me know in the comments what you think about my theory here. What happens in presidential elections, because they're national elections, what happens is during the primary phase, which Kamala has been able to skip over, the candidates, Trump's different, okay? This doesn't apply to Trump, okay? Trump is got his own rules. Nobody else goes by. But all other candidates in both parties play to their base, right? Conservatives become more conservatives. Liberals become more liberal. And then when they get to the general election, they get more reasonable they get more mainstream. We've never seen people get to the top of the ticket like this and then all of a sudden become radical lunatics and then pick a running mate who's a radical lunatic. I'll tell you what's scary about this, though. This pairing of the two of them is a joke. It's a comedy routine. It's Laurel and Hardy. But if this were like right after the George Floyd incident, they'd be credible. They would have that's how crazy things were right after George Floyd. that these two would be.
There's a video of him at a George Floyd riot wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Spray painting. Can you imagine defacing property? Spray painting. Get justice or something. Justice
committing crimes
on the city roads. The taxpayers paid for. I wanted to play this clip of J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Because he is going to destroy these two.
Oh, I hope they debate.
He has had a lot to say already. Just today, he took questions from the press. He had a press conference already about this. Meanwhile, Kamala has had none. Has not taken one question, not one vote, not one question. So this is what, let me rewind it to the beginning.
This is a guy who's proposed shipping more manufacturing jobs to China, who wants to make the American people more reliant on garbage energy instead of good American energy, and has proposed defunding the police just as Kamala Harris does. I think it's interesting, actually. They make an interesting tag team because, of course, Tim Walz allowed rioters to burn down Minneapolis in the summer of 2020, and then the few who got caught, Kamala Harris helped bail them out of jail. Yeah. So it is more instructive for what it says about Kamala Harris, that she doesn't care about the border, she doesn't care about crime, she doesn't care about American energy, and most importantly, she doesn't care about the Americans who have been made to suffer under those policies.
Yep. He is being very eloquent, he has really been going after them. And he's right about that. And this whole thing with Walz leaving the National Guard and lying about his military record, I think J.D. Vance is going to pounce on that very soon because he's a Marine. And those guys don't like that kind of stuff.
Well,
I'll tell you that.
This guy is so crazy. He said, Tim Walz has said that boys can get their periods. That's why he put the tampons in the boys' room, right? This guy is so crazy that even
sorry, my Twitter was going crazy.
That's okay. This guy is so crazy, okay, that even if Kamala were a credible candidate, believe me, she's not, I'm not saying, but even if she was a credible candidate, like a serious person and a credible candidate, this guy is so nuts that she would lose because the voters would not take the chance that this lunatic could possibly be president, right? I mean, I can't believe
Well, let me ask you one other
is.
scenario, which I don't think is true, but is it possible that they chose him to make her look more moderate?
You never know with these cases. No, this is the deal. Nancy Pelosi runs the Democrat Party. Kamala was not supposed to be the nominee. This was widely reported 2 weeks ago when Obama called Biden and told him that if he didn't drop out, they were going to do the 25th Amendment. He specifically told him, do not endorse Kamala Harris. We're going to have a mini primary at the convention. And he was pushing for Mark Kelly, Obama. And then the Bidens came out and he immediately endorsed Kamala and messed everything up. And if you remember, Pelosi and Obama took a few days to endorse. And
here's what's crazy. They're both ex-teachers, him and his wife. And I got a clip of her. She's a lunatic. She's as political as him. I've never seen. Yeah. It's like they run the state together, and I'm sure that's the way it is in a lot of marriages. Maybe you have like if somebody wins, and then their spouse helps them in some regard. Probably happened with Reagan and Nancy too. I'm sure he took her advice on things, but I think Reagan ran the country on his own. But I'm just saying, I'm sure he took his wife's advice once in a while. But these two seem like I've never seen a wife so radically political. Here's what she says about criminals. Tim Walz's wife.
Having a chance every day. Like, how many chances do you get? My answer to that is as many chances as you need, which doesn't really please those law and order people.
Yeah, that's his wife.
She's talking about criminals.
That's the first lady of Minnesota.
Doesn't please the law, so she's not a law and order person.
So the first lady of Minnesota, okay, who would be the second lady, I guess, she thinks that criminals should be able to rape and murder all day, every day, and just give them chances over and over and over.
And at the end, Brian, she said that doesn't please the law and order people. So what the hell? She's not a law and order person?
Yeah.
I don't understand the mentality of people, unless they're getting paid to be this way, of people that think it's okay to release criminals into the population and let them rape, pillage, and plunder like you said, as they please, like pirates.
Yeah.
She has said very radical things, his wife. That's just one of them. I retweeted a bunch of stuff. She's as nuts as him.
You know, that right there is enough for him not to be the... And I'll tell you, Nancy Pelosi's a snob. We know this. She was first introduced to Kamala Harris as Willie Brown's side piece, okay? There's no way that Nancy Pelosi is going to do anything that would make Kamala Harris the president of the United States, where she would have to stand up when she came in the room and walk behind her. Obama, too. There's no way. I really think they're setting Kamala up to lose.
Here's the clip of her with her windows open during BLM. That's a good one, too.
You know, the thing about presidential candidates, okay, whenever there's a president, okay, or presidential candidate, the one of the most important things about a presidential candidate is good judgment. Donald Trump has very good judgment. That doesn't mean he hasn't picked people to work for him that went on to betray him. You can't tell when someone's going to betray. If we had the ability to see into the future, there'd be no crime. All right, this is, give me a break. But he has very good judgment, Donald Trump.
He fires people when they don't do their job, which is something the other politicians don't do.
And Kamala, this is the first decision she's made in this new role, and she picked the most radically liberal guy that
this is a good clip.
You can imagine. Okay, yeah. So this is the first lady of Minnesota.
She does more interviews than her husband.
This is Tim Walz's lunatic wife.
I would say those first days, when there were riots, I could smell the burning tires, and
it's so funny.
That was a very real thing. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could because I felt like that was such a touchstone of what was happening.
So we have like candles from, what's that place you get? Yankee Candle?
Yeah.
We have like candles from Yankee Candle we put in the house to make it smell nice. She opens up the windows so she can get the scent of the burning tires so she can feel the revolution of BLM going on with Antifa.
I mean, it almost...
It's like a joke.
It almost sounds like a fetish with these two.
Yes, it is a fetish. I think
you know what I mean?
Yes.
It is bizarre.
Yeah, I think that's the way to describe it. It's a fetish.
I'm not saying a sexual fetish. You never know.
I think it is.
It sounds like a fetish these two have with these people that riot and burn down cities.
I think fetish is perfect.
They're really weird.
There's an old saying.
I mean, she was like, that's just a strange thing to do, to open your windows to smell.
There's an old
the
saying
city burning. That's insane, Brian.
Yeah, there's an old saying about couples that are weird, that are like this. The rocks in her head fit the holes in his.
Oh,
you ever heard that expression?
No, I like that.
Yeah, the rock. It goes both ways. The rocks in his head fit the holes in hers, or vice versa.
That's a really old expression.
The rocks in her head fit the holes in his.
I love that.
You can do it vice versa. I haven't heard that expression in many, many years. These are the two most radically insane liberal people that are out there. Now I want to ask you, Kathy, and you guys that are listening, let us know in the comments. I do think they're both certifiably insane. Okay, I don't mean nuts just because they have liberal ideas. This is not This is insanity. This is not sanity, is it? Do they seem nuts to you, Kathy?
Yes.
I mean, like really, like a psychiatrist could evaluate them and say, "Hey, there's something wrong here."
It says here in 2023, Tim Walz signed an executive order protecting trans procedures on minors.
That's correct.
While holding the hand of a transgender identifying a 12-year-old boy. So he's holding the hands of a boy in a dress.
A 12-year-old boy. Why is he holding hands with 12-year-olds?
In a dress with long blonde hair.
Where were the parents?
Wow. This is crazy. Miranda Devine just tweeted the thing about... So think about this. This woman... and Tampon Tim is pretty funny.
Tampon Tim is his nickname.
This woman that's married to this guy. Tim. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Her city was burning down. She's obviously against law and order because she said the law and order people don't like my opinion. So instead of doing something about the burning city, her and her husband opened their windows to smell This is the most effed up thing I think I've ever heard.
You know what it's like, Kathy?
Hold on. To smell the city burning down, and they're sitting there and enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
That's effed up.
You know what it is? You know what it's like? It's like Robert Duvall in Apocalypse Now. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. And he has them surfing while the beach is under enemy rocket attack.
Yeah, I mean these are crazy
These
people.
are lunatic Looney Tunes.
Yeah, these are really they make Kamala look normal.
President Trump immediately posted on Truth Social, "Thank you." That's it. He put "thank you."
Yeah, that's
right. I mean, it doesn't get better than this.
No, I mean, this guy and they said in the New York Post, 71% of people have never heard of this guy before. So. Like you even said to me in the car, Mayor Pete would have been a better choice.
Yes.
But I think Obama, who's in charge, him and Pelosi, I think he put the word out and he told these people that were on Kamala's list not to do it. There is no way that this guy was at the top of her list.
No.
And the Shapiro guy was ready to go. But he's got a lot of problems, but not as he has a sexual scandal, and he would have been a better pick than this guy. And they didn't pick him because he's Jewish, and that's what everybody's saying.
Well, that's it. Okay, and
he's Jewish.
This is the thing. I was listening to Fox this morning when I got off the air, and somebody said that she didn't pick him because he's Jewish, and someone said, well, her husband's Jewish. Yeah, but she can't be surrounded by two Jews. That's too much for her people.
I guess so.
You understand what I mean? Because so it was definitely an anti-Semitic pick, but this guy here, he was on TV the other day, and he's the one. He said he can't wait until this bastard, he calls Trump the bastard, wakes up the next morning and finds out that he lost to a black woman.
See, it's being reported by many people that 12 different people declined Kamala's VP offer, calling it career suicide.
Mm-hmm. So Walz, we're seeing all these crazy clips.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, he's crazy.
When things are going to get really interesting is when we start seeing interviews with Walz and Walz's wife. Like J.D. Vance, his wife, just did an interview the other day. She's very nice and dignified. When Walz and his Looney Tune wife start doing interviews, it's going to be almost like a parody.
Whose interviews are worse? It's hard to pick. I'm going to put a poll up.
By the way, Walz is the one that was the first one to say J.D. Vance is weird. He started that.
That's right.
Right?
But who, and you know what? That might have got him on her radar.
It might have.
Who does worse interviews? Tim Walz, and they're calling him A. Walz.
I like that, yeah. I like Tampon Tim.
We'll have to do 2 polls. I'm going to do a poll, which is a better nickname, A. Walz for AWOL, or Tampon Tim. And then who does worse interviews, Kamala or this guy or his wife? All 3 of them are bad. This is a trifecta of a disaster for the liberals.
It's beautiful.
It's a trifecta of a disaster for them. And Trump, like you said, he tweeted, "Thank you." He put on Truth. Like that's all he had to say. Like this is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it says here, the Daily Caller, which Tim Walz nickname hits the hardest? Weirdo Walz, Tampon Tim.
Tampon Tim's very
or
good.
Midwest Gavin Newsom. That's not good. Tampon Tim. That's the clear
Tampon
winner.
Tim's
That's the
one.
clear winner.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of memes of that already with him with tampons.
There are so many videos of this guy with transgender things and with he's a real advocate for.
Maybe he's not fully heterosexual. You know,
like a hermaphrodite.
His wife.
He's strange.
No, I mean he might just go multiple. His wife. I'm surprised they're married because it seems like she would be with like one of the victim classes. You know what these two are like?
They're just strange.
They're like those college kids that are communist because they're stupid kids. They don't know what's going on. But when they grow up, they become reasonable. They never grew up.
Now they're 60, so they are on the border of Gen X boomer. They're like very late boomers, these two. So in the hippie era, so he's 6 years older than me. So he was born in like 64. So the Gen X started in 65. So he's like the late baby boomer era. And so he would have been a kid in the 70s in the hippie. So these are not hippies. But so when would they have been radicalized? So if he is this crazy, he's only 6 years older than me because he looks like he's 80. It's weird. But I'm 54, he's 60. So I graduated high school in 88, so that means he graduated in 82, which is he's only a couple years older than my brother. When would he have been radicalized, these two? Obama wasn't around. Were there that many, or did it happen recently, you think? Because some guy they interviewed in Minnesota said he used to be very moderate, and then with George Floyd and all that, he became very radical. Well, maybe something flipped in him and this fetish kicked off.
Or he's just a fraud and he pretends to be this way to cater to groups. But I think
him and his wife are just crazy. There's Trump just truth to something big. So
I saw that. Yeah,
read that.
Elon Musk is going to interview Trump on Monday.
Yeah, that's Trump just announced it.
And let me tell you about this thing with Elon Trump. That
might break the internet.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk endorsed Trump, and now he's going to interview him. Elon Musk is basically the American manned space program, right, with SpaceX. And I watch SpaceX rockets take off all the time from our house. And our home is due south of Kennedy Space Center.
Right.
So if it's a clear day or a clear night, we can see the rocket launches of SpaceX. I watch them all the time. I love doing it. But those are government contracts. Elon Musk would not be so openly pro-Trump if he thought there was any chance the Democrats would win. Because if the Democrats are in power after he's endorsed Trump and is advocating for Trump and interviewing Trump and all this stuff, they could take away SpaceX contracts. He wouldn't mess around with that. So I think Elon Musk is another example that Trump's got this locked up.
The thing with Elon, I tell you,
I wonder what they'll talk about.
It'll be very interesting.
I think they'll talk about the trans thing because of his kid.
Yes, that is what has really made Elon. I think Elon's always been conservative and like Trump, but his son is estranged, and he's like 17, and he's become a girl.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk is very against the puberty blockers and the Dr. Frankenstein methods of the liberals. And that is what is real. He said his son is dead now. He said his son has died. And he means that theoretically the son he raised is now a girl.
But he went through the surgery and everything?
Yeah, and he's become a girl. Mm. And he has said, my son is dead now. Not dead to me, but there's no more son.
Yeah.
And it has upset him so much that he is not only endorsing Trump, he is giving him money, and he just gifted him one of his huge $100,000 cars with a huge wrap on it through Aiden Ross. I mean, he's fully on the Trump train. So that'll be a good interview. Now, I've seen Elon Musk in interviews. He's extremely cerebral.
Yeah, but have you seen him do an interview?
No. Well, no.
I haven't seen him do an interview.
He's very intelligent, and I've seen him do interviews, and I'm not stupid, but a lot of what he says goes over my head for sure. I mean, it's like talking to a physicist. So I'm interested to see if it'll be an interview or more conversation style, with him and Trump. Trump's a very intelligent guy, and I think you're right. They'll talk about the transgender thing a lot and the sports issues and things like that, and the economy and stuff like that. It'll be interesting. Yeah. I'm excited. I think that's going to get so many. Now, so is it going to be on X? It's going to be like audio.
I imagine it'll be on X. Sure, absolutely.
We'll get updates.
I hope. Well, actually, he did. Remember, Elon Musk did that Twitter Spaces with DeSantis, and it was a technical disaster. So there was so many people were watching it and
Was it going to be a video like what Tucker does?
I just hope there's not technical problems.
I think it'll be a video that he puts on Twitter, on X, like Tucker does video
now,
interviews.
I want to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters for their support of the program. And, if you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, it's a great way to support the program. First of all, Patreon supporters have access to commercial-free editions of all of the podcast episodes. Okay, that's exclusive to Patreon supporters. And Kathy and I both post things that we post nowhere else to the Patreon page. And of course, Patreon supporters have ways to message us and things that other people don't. So if you want to be in contact with us too, there's many perks to becoming a Patreon supporter. Again, there's a link in the description of this and every episode to our Patreon page. And our top Patreon supporters get a live on-air thank you shout-out on each and every episode. So the names you will hear now are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, Dee, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Mike P., Carlos, Paulette, John, K-Mac, Alice, Richard, Maria in Texas. She called me on the air this morning, Maria in Texas. David, Heather, LeeZep, Shawna, Constance, George, Brandon, Rob and Trish Wilkerson, Christy R., and John S. These are our top Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. All right, listen, we're going to take our first break. When we get back, there's a lot more to talk about. A lot of craziness has happened. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to transform your living space with a touch of modern elegance and quality craftsmanship? Look no further than AlphaFurnishings.com. AlphaFurnishings.com is your go-to destination for premium metal and acrylic furniture legs that are truly exceptional. They have a wide range of sizes and a spectrum of vibrant colors so that you'll find the perfect match for your furniture. Their exclusive features make each furniture leg a masterpiece just waiting to enhance your home decor. Whether you want to have a contemporary makeover of your sofa or a cabinet that's in need of chic transformation, AlphaFurnishings.com has you covered. Their goal is to make a difference in furniture design. They create innovative products that can save and modernize your furniture. They've gone from a small apartment to 2 warehouses, and they have a simple message: small spending, large return, and an instant facelift. Elevate your home with AlphaFurnishings.com. You can also find them on Etsy. Just search for Alpha Modern Furnishing. Go right now to AlphaFurnishings.com and begin your furniture transformation journey. AlphaFurnishings.com. It's an election year in the United States. That means it's time to stand up and let the world know how you think. There's no better way to do that than with StandUpAmericans.com. That's Americans with an S. StandUpAmericans.com is your go-to online apparel store. They carry shirts, hats, travel mugs, and much more that say exactly what you are thinking. Stand up for what you believe in with StandUpAmericans.com. You'll find great gifts too. Remember who you are with gear designed for and by American patriots. Visit StandUpAmericans.com. That's Americans with an S. StandUpAmericans.com. Are you a restaurant owner or chef who wants to upgrade your kitchen without breaking the bank? Then check out Auction Factory Tennessee, your destination for top brand restaurant equipment at unbeatable prices. Auction Factory Tennessee specializes in brand new inventory and expertly restored repossessions. Whether you're building the commercial kitchen of your dreams or just need a few upgrades, Auction Factory Tennessee have you covered. And the best part, you can bid and win from the comfort of your own home or restaurant. Imagine saving thousands of dollars on premium equipment. Auction Factory Tennessee have everything you're looking for, from ovens and fryers to refrigeration units, and that's just the beginning. Over the next month, Auction Factory Tennessee is offering over $1 million worth of brand new merchandise. Auction Factory Tennessee has been helping businesses just like yours for over 2 decades. Auction Factory Tennessee auctions are happening right now, featuring everything you need to outfit your kitchen with the very best. Take your restaurant to the next level and go to auctionfactory.com and under auctions, click Tennessee. That's auctionfactory.com and under auctions, click Tennessee for Auction Factory Tennessee, producing auction perfection. Are you ready to transform your life and align with God's purpose? Then order your copy of the book from author Gary S. Park, Unlocking Your Faith, Seeking God's Purpose, A Journey of Faith, Overcoming Life's Challenges, and Embracing Spiritual Growth. In this inspiring book, the author takes readers on a transformative journey, shifting your focus from self to living with God. You'll unlock profound insights on embracing the teachings of the Word of God and discover how to infuse your daily life with spiritual meaning and purpose. With Unlocking Your Faith, you'll learn the essential elements of nurturing a robust prayer life and how to cultivate a mindset anchored in faith and positivity. You'll also gain valuable insights into the power of community and fellowship in strengthening your spiritual journey. Unlocking Your Faith, Seeking God's Purpose, A Journey of Faith, Overcoming Life's Challenges, and Embracing Spiritual Growth from author Gary S. Park is the book you've been waiting for. It's available on Amazon and the author's website, GarySPark.com. That's S as in Samuel. Order your copy right now.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. Okay, so, people have signatures. Like I get I hate mail. I actually get physical mail that's hate mail. Can you imagine?
I never get any hate mail unless you get some at the station and you throw it in the garbage.
Every day when I go to the radio station, there's mail for me. By the way, if you guys want to mail me the things, you can mail me. I don't mind getting letters, but I get hate mail. And people sign different names. I can tell by so many things who it is, even if they have different names on it. Everybody has a signature. Everybody has a pattern. And when you're watching like crime shows, killers and serial, they have signatures.
Yeah, of course.
Kamala Harris has a signature
already,
and she and it's this thing about fake phone calls. She's obsessed with this fake phone. She thinks that she looks so cool when she's doing these fake phone calls. Remember that commercial for the cell phone plans with the party lines a few years ago? Yeah, remember that? When those guys were all talking, yeah, what?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she's got that on her mind. But she did, when she got the endorsement from the Obamas, she did the fake phone call with the Obamas on the speakerphone.
Yeah, that she had up to her ear.
Yeah, exactly. And she did this with Tim Walz. Now, Trump and J.D. Vance, they didn't record it and fake it, but Trump called J.D. Vance to tell him, and he missed the call.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. There wasn't anybody there recording it, and he missed the call, and then his son was there.
Yeah, J.D. Vance said something he shouldn't have said. He made one mistake.
What did he say?
J.D. Vance.
What?
I don't want to quote him because I don't want to get the quote wrong, but his son, like when our daughter was little, is in the Pokemon cards.
Oh, yes. Emily was really
And he was on the phone with President Trump, and his son was trying to go over the Pokemon cards with him, and J.D. Vance was, Go look it up.
I don't think that was that bad. Yeah. I think it was just a real moment. He's just being a dad.
I would rather him not lie. That's true. So anyway, Kamala, she did this fake phone call with Tim Walz.
It's pretty bad.
And it's really nice, these casual, spontaneous phone calls where they both are wired up, mic'd up, and they have cameras in the rooms.
It's so real. Just like the two of them.
It's like a lot of times, I'll watch vloggers on YouTube, and they're all by themselves. They film themselves on their vlogs, but they're staying in a hotel room, and then there's a shot of them walking into the hotel room. They went in there, put the camera, then went out in the hallway.
I think you're right. I think she thinks it's a good look and it's cool, and I'm sure from what I've heard, she's a complete nightmare to work for.
Yes.
So nobody wants to
92% of her staff have quit.
Yeah. Nobody wants... See, Trump fires people. Her people leave on their own.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to tell her that it's a stupid look, but it is. And she keeps doing it because she obviously likes it.
She thinks it looks... On the last... I'll play this thing in a minute, but on the last campaign with Biden, it wasn't phone calls then. She had this thing... She liked to wear low-top Converse and get off of jets, walk down the step, and walk right into an SUV and drive off.
Yeah.
Remember that on runways? And she just thought she looked so cool getting off these planes and getting in the... She looked like an idiot. All right, anyway, so here is the fake stage phone call that's supposed to be completely spontaneous of Kamala calling Walz. Now, she did not have the phone up to her ear while speaking on the speaker this time.
She figured out that looks stupid at least. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Tim.
It's Kamala Harris. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning, Madam Vice President.
Listen, I want you to do this with me. Let's do this together. Would you be my running mate and let's get this thing on the road?
I would be honored, Madam Vice President. The joy that you're bringing back to the country, the enthusiasm that's out there, it'll be a privilege to take this with you across the country.
Well, let me tell you, I have just the utmost respect for you. I have really enjoyed our work together. You understand our country. You have dedicated yourself to our country in so many different and beautiful ways. And we're going to do this. We're going to win. And we're going to unify our country and remind everyone that we are fighting for the future for everyone. So So let's get out there and get this done, okay?
Let's do it. Do the work in front of us. Let's win this thing.
That's right. All right, buddy. I'll see you soon. Take care. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, what a corporate. I am proud to walk this walk with you, Madam Vice President. And oh my gosh.
That's so crazy. Yeah, she likes to do that stuff.
Yeah, let's do this together.
The Hill just put out an opinion piece that this was her, like what they just said what you said. This was her first big mistake as her first decision was a bad one. And they said that she should have gone with Shapiro because Minnesota is very blue and she can win it easily. This is what they said. But they said Pennsylvania is a toss-up and Shapiro has a 65% approval rating in that state and that he could help her win that state. And they don't understand. I think somebody got to Shapiro and told him not to take her up on the offer, or she just didn't want, she was afraid of the Palestinian lovers, the Gaza kids, as I call them.
The Gaza,
turning on her. There was some reason, either he didn't want to do it, or she changed her mind or something. But it has been reported by many, many people on Twitter, X, that she asked 12 people, and this guy was number 13, lucky number 13.
And
everybody else turned her down.
There's a lot of weird things about this guy that we'll be talking about in the next few weeks. But this stolen valor claim.
Yes, so JD will be on that.
This is a big deal. Because of JD Vance.
Oh, yeah. We'll be on it.
But he did two things, okay? He was in the National Guard. And he went through this.
Walz.
Yeah, Walz. Walz was in the National Guard. And he went. I read a very detailed article about this, okay? He went through this program to become a Command Master Sergeant, which is the highest enlisted rank in the Army, okay? Command Master Sergeant. And he was honorarily promoted to that rank with the agreement that he finished the requirements to maintain the rank. And he didn't. His unit was about to be deployed to Iraq, and he wasn't about to do that, okay? So he refused deployment, saying he couldn't deploy to Iraq and go into combat because he was going to run for Congress, which is not, exactly true. So he got demoted. He lost his command sergeant major rank because he didn't complete the steps for this program to become a command. It sounds a little technical, and it is. But when he was in Congress, he was running around saying he was the highest ranking enlisted rank person to ever serve in Congress, which is not true because he was demoted and he cowered out and got out of the deployment to Iraq. It's stolen valor.
It is.
It is stolen valor.
No matter how you slice it.
And it's also yellow because he was obviously doing it for political reasons, being in the service.
Yeah, another John Kerry here.
Exactly. And well, at least he went to Vietnam for 3 months longer than I went to Vietnam. John Kerry. People don't realize John Kerry was in Vietnam 3 months. It's crazy. But as soon as they were going into a hot zone, he found a way to get out of it. So
same deal.
So he's coward of the county here. And JD Vance is going to be all over that. This guy is a disaster, and the two of them.
I'm really,
you know what this? It's the Dumb and Dumber campaign.
That was one of the campaign slogans, and I think this is going to be so much fun to watch. And like Trump just said, thank you. Thank you, like it was a gift, given to him. There's a thing now where guys give Trump Rolexes. And I know Aiden Ross gave him a beautiful gold Rolex. I'm sure Trump has got millions of Rolexes, but it's still a nice thing to get. I mean, those are like $5,000 to $15,000, $20,000 watches. And Aiden Ross gave him a beautiful gold one. Another guy gave him a platinum Rolex. He was interviewing Trump, and he said to Trump, I made a T-shirt design, and he showed him the shirt. He said, I made $500,000 off this T-shirt. So Trump said, well, where's my cut? He was kidding, but the guy said, well, I got you a present. And he gave him a platinum Rolex.
I saw that.
Yeah. I mean, so Kamala, Trump just gets gifts all the time from these people that just love. I wish I could give him something nice like that, but I'm sure he appreciates. Well, yeah.
I wish he could give me a Rolex. I wouldn't.
Wouldn't you like to give Trump a nice gift like that? I mean, but that
was a big deal, by the way. Aiden Ross.
Aiden
Ross
he was excited.
Is a Gen Z superstar. And he gave Trump the Rolex, and then he gave him that Cybertruck that was totally fitted with the Trump wrap.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk helped him
fully
with that.
loaded. You know, and I've heard some people say that Cybertruck's value is about $500,000.
Oh,
because it was fully loaded and everything.
Yeah, and it had that wrap. It had "Make America Great Again." And I said to you, I think Elon Musk should come out with a MAGA red Cybertruck, a Trump edition, and have Trump's signature. I'm telling you, and sell it for like $250,000. And I'm telling you, I think people would buy them.
You know, the thing about the Cybertruck, I don't know what it is, what it's like where you all live. Here in South Florida, there are Cybertrucks everywhere. There's a bunch in our neighborhood. I was on I-95 a couple weeks ago, and a semi came, and it was filled. It had 6 or 8 Cybertrucks on it, heading, I don't know, to Miami. I see them on the road all the time, and you know, I love Elon Musk. Don't get me wrong, but have any of you seen a Cybertruck up close? Up close, they look kind of cheap. You know, the stainless steel, to me, now again, I could be completely wrong. I mean, I've just seen them like in parking lots and stuff. The stainless steel looks really thin, and I saw one
gotta
on
be pretty strong. I would imagine.
No, I saw, and you look these up, guys. I saw a Cybertruck online that had been in a car accident, and it didn't make it. It was destroyed. I was surprised how fragile it was, and the starting price is $99,000.
Well, I wonder what Trump's going to do with it because he can't drive it. I think he should make it part of his caravan. He can't drive anymore. You know, you told me presidents can't drive
on the highway.
On the highway. Yeah. So I think, you know how he travels with that huge caravan of black SUVs? You should get somebody like Eric or Don to drive that Cybertruck in that caravan.
It'll be like
Give it to Barron.
Barron's go-kart. He'll drive around Mar-a-Lago in it.
Exactly. That's awesome. I saw a picture of Barron with all these young influencers at the Mar-a-Lago. He is so tall. I mean, he makes them look like midgets.
Well,
he is like 6 foot.
I'll tell you,
7 or something.
I'll tell you something.
6'9". He's huge.
Barron is more involved in his dad's campaign, I think, than people realize. And I picked up on this a couple months ago. Patrick Bet-David was name dropping that he was talking to Barron, like on the phone, you know, and Barron is very connected and in contact with a lot of influential people.
Trump had said when he was being interviewed by Aiden Ross, he said basically, I didn't know who you were, but my son Barron said you're huge.
Yeah.
And I think that Barron is, I could see Barron being a gamer. All the kids his age are into gaming.
Because he can't get out enough.
And he doesn't get out a lot. I could see him being into gaming a lot. And he probably has watched this guy who's the biggest gamer streamer, and he came out a couple weeks ago endorsing Trump, this Aiden Ross guy, member, and I think Barron reached out to him. I'm guessing
that's what I think happened,
and got this to happen.
I think so too.
And I watched the interview with Aiden Ross and Trump. It was in Mar-a-Lago. It was very good, and then he gave him the car and the Rolex. It was very cool. We watched it yesterday, and Barron wasn't there with them, but there was a picture of all of them beforehand that they had taken.
No, I think Barron set it up. I think
you're right.
And he said there was another high-profile thing that Barron set up in the last few weeks. I can't remember what it was, but he is very much involved, and Barron is very much in contact with a lot of people. And you know, the thing about Trump with this Aiden Ross interview, I had never heard of Aiden Ross before yesterday. Okay, I'm not on Kick, and I'm not into gaming. Although we do have a Miss Pac-Man machine here at house. I do like Miss Pac-Man. That's my gaming, right? We have an arcade Miss Pac-Man machine here at the house, and I love it.
Pretty old school.
Kathy got it for me for Christmas a couple years ago. I got the high score on it, by the way. I've had the high score for like a year on that. I only play after Kathy plays.
I'm your only competition.
No,
go to an arcade and try to make that.
I will probably be the top gamer with Miss Pac-Man because they're not into that. But anyway, the thing with Trump, he's so brilliant. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris is paying influencers to say good things about her. Biden was doing that. They're trying to get influencers. They're going to pay them to go to the convention. An OnlyFans model said that Kamala Harris campaign offered them $1,200 to make a video promoting her. Can you imagine?
That's pretty cheap.
But Trump went to one of the top online Gen Z streamers, this Aiden Ross.
Yeah.
And, you know, the days of going and sitting down with traditional, boring, stuffy media like these Sunday show people or Stephanopoulos or Hannity, Trump is doing things. He's running such a different campaign.
It is.
And if you haven't watched the Aiden Ross interview, it was a very good interview.
And they're giving him gifts. He's not paying them.
They're giving him expensive gifts.
They're giving him some swag.
Trump got inside the Cybertruck with Aiden Ross, and I was surprised the Secret Service let him do that. They didn't get inside the thing with him.
Why?
Because President Trump just got shot.
Yeah, so why are you surprised?
I would think that they would have some more enhanced security.
Obviously, they don't.
They're gonna let him get into a car with some kid. He could have driven off in that thing. Who knows? And driven it into the intercoastal waterway.
They obviously don't seem to
at
care.
Mar-a-Lago. I was very surprised. They may have had it. Maybe somebody else had the key. I don't know. But anyway, Trump gets in there. They're going over the music that he's got, I guess, on his Spotify, and he's asking Trump what his favorite music are. And he's saying a lot of old people. Most of them are dead. Elvis and Michael Jackson.
The Mamas and the Papas.
And then Trump said something. He's like, well, there's a lot of other people here I like. I like their music, but I don't like them, so I don't want to mention their names.
Probably Taylor Swift.
So I'm wondering what kind of music Trump really likes that he's not telling us. But I've never seen Donald Trump isn't just a presidential candidate. He's a president, right? And to see a president run for office when they're not in office, no one's ever seen that before, right? It's happened once before, and it was in the 1800s. No one alive saw it. And he's running this campaign in a different way, talking to people like Aiden Ross, Elon Musk on Monday, and he's reaching many millions of people in ways that candidates and politicians never have even considered.
Because he's got our vote. He's got Gen X and Boomers locked in. We're set, right? This younger generation is more conservative, Gen Z. That's who he's going after. He's really, I'm not saying he's not trying to go after us too. He's going to all these swing states and he's working very hard again, but he's really going after the younger people.
That's
and
right.
Like you said, he's very smart the way he's doing it and I think his son Barron has a lot to do with this and his connection with Charlie Kirk, because he's reaching out in ways that he might never have thought of before. But at the same time, I think him getting shot really, like this Aiden Ross guy, I think he was never political before, but after he saw that, even like Mark Zuckerberg said that Trump got up and that was like the most badass thing he'd ever seen. I'm not saying Zuckerberg's endorsing Trump, but he told Trump that he's not endorsing anybody this time. Mm-hmm. That means he likes Trump. But I think these young people saw that and they like really respect that, and they see him as a hero now. And the left would never ever.
He's cool.
He's cool, and he's become a hero to them. And that was such a jaw-dropping moment, that's so jarring, that I think it emboldened these young people. Even look at Hulk Hogan, who's our age, a little older, said after I saw that I couldn't be quiet anymore. He said I had to say something. It caused people to be brave.
And the rap that Aiden Ross had on the Cybertruck was when Trump got up and said, fight, 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 with the blood on his face.
It was the picture of him with his hand up with the blood
fight.
Right after.
Yeah.
It's the picture we have in the living room.
Yeah,
with the
that's
Secret
right.
Service. And with the blue background in the flag. But I think seeing him get shot and get up and say fight, I think it flipped something in people where they were afraid to say something.
Yeah.
And it inspired. And Trump talked about this at a rally not that long ago. And there was a moment of silence, and somebody in the audience said, he was talking about the shooting, and somebody said, your bravery is inspiring to him. Mm-hmm. And he said, he said, thank you. And the whole audience started applauding, and he said, you guys inspire me. The one thing I think that he really was inspired by, and this struck me too when I saw the shooting, he really was amazed that the crowd did not run. He has brought that up over and over again, and I was amazed too. I said to you, do you notice how nobody's running away? Mm-hmm. They're all staying there, making sure he's okay. And I think that was a really humbling moment for him. Like, they did not stampede. They did not get scared. They stayed to make sure he was all right. Well, and I think that really meant a lot to him.
I think people stayed for two reasons. One, they wanted to make sure he was all right.
Yes.
And if something else was coming, I think they were going to protect him. Yeah. I don't think the crowd wanted to leave him. I think they wanted to protect him.
Well, Ryan Fournier just said they apprehended a guy coming in from Iran in New York that was planning on trying to assassinate Trump.
They just arrested a guy from China at Mar-a-Lago 2 days ago.
Well, I'm glad they've seemed. I noticed at the last rally, he had much more security, and I think he. However it's happened, because Josh Hawley's been reporting that the guy who was in charge of the Butler rally cut back on the security big time and had been doing it. So they have definitely beefed it up, and he also had private security. So I think he has beefed up his security detail through the Secret Service, because I noticed at the last rally there were like 3 times as many, and that woman that's 5 feet tall was gone.
No DEI. Secret Service.
All those short women were gone.
Yeah,
they were nowhere to be seen.
The Munchkinville people. Yeah, they can be the Secret Service for the mayor of Munchkinland. They'd be perfect.
Yeah, they would.
They'd be perfect.
They would.
But this Aiden Ross interview. Kathy thinks that's funny. It is funny. It is funny, Kathy. They'd be perfect. They'd be perfect.
I just saw a Love Boat episode last night with.
I met that guy, the mayor of Munchkinland,
with Billy Barty and another little person.
Remember, I was at
a Wizard of Oz.
I was at an autograph convention many years ago, and the actor was still alive, the mayor of Munchkinland, and I talked to him for 2 hours. During World War II, he was a trainee. He taught people how to fly planes in the Second World War, and which I thought he was made because he's a little midget. But anyway, back to this Aiden Ross interview. I just want to finish up on this. I don't know how many millions have watched it, because it's not just the people that are on Aiden Ross's stream. Many other people played it and played clips. Going on Kick like Trump did in 2024 is like when candidates would go on 60 Minutes in the 70s or 80s, right? Remember the Clintons when the affairs thing started happening? They went on 60 Minutes and did this big interview and reached everybody. And this is when she says, I'm not Tammy Wynette standing by my man, not home baking cookies. Those days are over. And Trump, in the first...
So what's the difference? Ron DeSantis tried that, and it failed.
Because he's not cool. He's a dork. He's a dork. Donald Trump is
does
cool.
It's a hit.
Donald Trump is cool. See, in the first campaign in 2016, Van Jones said something very interesting about Trump. He says Donald Trump, he says he's got a Kennedy quality. This is what Van Jones said, and he was right on. He says President Trump, well, he wasn't president yet because it was the first campaign. He says Donald Trump knows how to use media like no other candidate ever has, social media and the internet. Like Kennedy was the first candidate that knew how to use television in ways no one else knew. And he's taken that in different ways. And the days of these 60-minute interviews and these sit-downs with people that are in the stuffy, old-fashioned media world are over. Donald Trump is going places that really reach people now, and you can't preach to the choir and be successful. You've got to convert people, and what he's doing is what you were talking about, Kathy. He and getting shot helped him do this a lot. He's converting people that otherwise wouldn't, because he got shot and he stood up and he continued
and he said, "Fight, fight, fight," and I think that inspired people to fight for him, to fight for our country. Look what's happening in England. I mean, you have people literally being arrested for social media posts now.
Yeah.
I've seen videos. And you have, I just saw a video in Birmingham where they had this huge group of Muslims marching through, and the police were helping them. They were like terrorizing the city. I mean, I feel like England, I have a cousin that lives there. I don't know. She's got a lot of money, so she probably isn't bothered by this kind of stuff. She lives in the city of London. But the videos I've seen of England and the prime minister they elected, he's as radical as this Walz guy. He's saying we're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to tolerate anybody bashing Muslims. I mean, you'd think this guy was, it all started when they elected that Muslim mayor. That's when it all went to hell.
England's lost. Now,
I feel like it is.
We just had a hurricane hit the state of Florida. And, if you're in Florida and you have any roof damage, a leak or roof damage, call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. He'll take care of you. Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. I'm going to give you his cell phone number in a moment, but if you miss his number, you can go to his website, laportaroofing.com, and you can reach him through the website, laportaroofing.com, but I'm going to give you his cell phone. He handles every type of roofing material and every type of structure, from single-family homes of any size, from small to mansions, office buildings, apartment buildings, condos, municipal buildings, churches, schools, warehouses, whatever type of building, whatever type of structure it is, he can help you. And he covers pretty much the whole state of Florida, almost the whole state. So give him a call. And, if you didn't get hit this time and you got a leaky roof, you want to take care of it, because we could get hit by the next one. When the hurricanes come, the hurricane winds are looking for an entryway into your home. And if you've got a loose tile or a loose shingle, that becomes an entryway. That wind gets under that loose tile, under that loose shingle, it rips the whole roof off, and you're done. It's off to Kansas, and it ain't fun. And a lot of people that are new to Florida are experiencing hurricanes for the first time. Kathy and I,
hurricanes have tornadoes in them too.
They do.
There's tornado warnings. We just had one the other night because the hurricane went by. Yeah. And it was like 300 miles away, but we still had tornado warnings here.
Kathy's lived in Florida her whole life. I've lived in Florida almost my whole life. We've been through more hurricanes than we could remember just since we've been married, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Kathy's right. We've had hurricanes where we've had multiple tornadoes go down our street during the hurricane.
Your roof is the most important part of your house, especially in South Florida.
It's nothing. It's nothing to mess around with. And some idiots are like, well, I got a lot of little roof damage. I don't need a new roof. I don't need any repairs. I'll wait until the storm takes it. Then I'll get a whole new roof. That's crazy.
Not to mention the water damage that can happen if you have a leak in your roof, and it rains here a lot, especially this time of year. We're getting rain almost every afternoon. And that water seeps in slowly after 5 or 6 years. Yeah. Your whole house is ruined and full of mildew and mold in this hot weather.
It's not fun.
You got to have a good solid roof.
It's not fun. And if you're in an evacuation zone, get out. Don't stay in it. But if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof, you want to call Tom Laporta and get it taken care of. Here's his cell phone number. And remember, Tom Laporta will never sell you a roof you do not need. If you just need a simple repair, he'll do it. 954-604-4602. This is his cell phone. Don't believe me? Call him. He'll answer. Or you can send him a text. 954-604-4602 or online, laportaroofing.com. All right, one more segment to go. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for that perfect personalized gift? Then check out MAUSA Co. on Etsy.com. They have everything from custom portraits and magnets to stickers, mugs, tumblers. They also offer sweatshirts and tote bags. And that's just the beginning of their incredible inventory. Send in a photo of your pet and they'll create a beautiful digital portrait or poster just for you. And soon, their Christmas ornaments will be available. Enjoy discounts of up to 50% each and every day. Start shopping right now at MAUSACO.etsy.com. That's MAUSACO.etsy.com. You can also find them on Instagram and Pinterest. MAUSACO.etsy.com. Have you been searching for the perfect action figure or toys? Your search is over with Eduardo's Toy Co. on Mercari.com. Eduardo's Toy Co. is passionate about making people happy with toys. They have everything you're looking for, from the WWE to the DC Multiverse, Harley Quinn, and much, much more. There's something for every collector and lover of toys at Eduardo's Toy Co. on Mercari.com. Need gaming electronics? They've got that too, like the Sony PSP 1000. All the prices are fair and nothing is ever overpriced. You'll also find unmatched friendliness and communication. If you have any questions or can't find what you're looking for, feel free to message Eduardo anytime and he'll get right back to you. They're perfect for gift shopping too. Visit Eduardo's Toy Co. on Mercari.com. Just go to Mercari.com and search Eduardo's Toy Co. That's Eduardo's Toy Co. on Mercari.com. Start shopping right now. Are you a business owner, large or small? Or do you work from home? Then listen up. Universal Shop Limited is your home for all the business tools you need for your company's success. Universal Shop Limited provide essential tools for all businesses. From eye-catching marketing templates to efficient organizational tools, they have everything you're looking for your company. Check out their best-selling Small Business Organizer, the ultimate planner for startup owners, with sections for goal setting, financial planning, and day-to-day operations. Their virtual shelves are filled with digital tools that are meticulously crafted to empower you and your business. Their inventory includes product inventory trackers, printable cash receipts, monthly bill trackers, and so much more. Whether you need a work-from-home planner or a digital food inventory tracker, Universal Shop Limited has what you're searching for. Visit the Etsy shop right now, online at universalshoplimited.etsy.com, and elevate your business to new heights. Universal Shop Limited.etsy.com, empowering your business with the tools for success. Find everything your business needs right now at universalshoplimited.etsy.com. Are you looking for eco-friendly fashion that doesn't compromise on style? Then check out Mendis.com. That's MENDISS, where fashion meets sustainability. At Mendis.com, they're all about sustainable fashion. They offer classic designs that are made from lightweight, eco-friendly fabrics, with made-on-demand t-shirts and ultimate comfort hoodies. They're soft, stylish, and have practical pouch pockets. They're perfect for everyone and every occasion. They're soft, sustainable, durable, and reliable. You will feel the difference each and every time you wear them. The fabrics are as soft as they are durable, giving you ultimate comfort while caring for the planet at the same time. Their motto is, unity is power. Mendis is more than just a brand. It's a movement of collective responsibility in making sustainable choices. Join the Mendis community and make a positive impact through sustainable fashion choices. Mendis.com, where fashion meets sustainability. Mendis.com.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. Just want to play this one clip here. This is Ben Stiller, the actor.
I just want to let you know I'm going to match your $150,000 donation. Everybody's got to get out and vote, and donate. And she's also a historic candidate. You know, it's going to be the first woman president. And that's incredibly exciting. And, you know, she's Indian, she's black, she's everything. You could be more than one thing. It's incredible. You know, I'm Jewish and Irish. I wish I was black. Every white Jewish guy wishes he was black. You know, it's just get out there and vote and donate and like take advantage. This is such an important time right now, and this wave of energy that's happening, we got to keep going with it. So please do everything you can.
Okay, Ben Stiller, maybe he's playing Zoolander in that clip. Maybe that's not himself. You know, this is an interesting thing, right? Last week, when Trump went and spoke to the black journalist. Mm-hmm. You said that she's a DEI. They're calling Trump a racist because he said that she's a DEI hire. Ben Stiller says vote for her because she's a woman, black and Indian.
Exactly.
That's DEI.
Don't they? Maybe they don't know what that means exactly.
Didn't earn it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get that to pick up. I'm trying to get that to catch on.
Yeah.
Didn't earn it.
If you hire somebody or elect somebody because of the color of their skin or their gender, that's the definition of a DEI hire. You're not choosing them because of things they've done. I mean, Ben Stiller, what a weird guy.
Isn't he?
The things he says is strange.
I used to like him.
Actors are really strange people.
They're weird.
They really are. I mean, they live on another planet, most of them. I mean, that's just a bizarre way to be. I think they live in that la-la land and they lose touch with reality. But mm-hmm. I don't understand liberals. I never have, I never will. And I don't understand how they can honestly think this woman's good or this guy is good, but they lie to themselves, they convince themselves, they start drinking their own Kool-Aid because they believe what they want to believe, because the reality they can't accept that Trump is better. They just can't accept that.
There's something about actors. Some of you that follow me on YouTube may have seen a few weeks. Well, I guess it was a couple months ago now. I went and visited those Star Trek sets.
Yeah.
Which you guys should go look. Look up Brian Craig Star Trek. It was really cool. My oldest friend, he used to put on science fiction conventions, and he's friends with a lot of celebrities. And he took me out to dinner with an actor from the Star Wars movies. And this guy was such a hardcore liberal Democrat. He was a communist. And he had recently, and he had talked about, he was telling us, and he thought this was I couldn't believe what I was hearing from this guy. And he was so excited. He was telling us this story of when he got to see, he got a chance to go see Castro give a speech in Cuba. This guy goes to Cuba all the time. He's an actor in the Star Wars movies.
What is it about this that they like so much? They don't like people to have freedom, I guess.
And this was I couldn't believe this story he told us, right? He was in Havana, and Castro was speaking in some town really far away. Cuba's huge. I don't think people realize how big Cuba is.
It's big.
Massive.
It's about the length of Florida.
It's massive.
It's really a long island.
Massive. And it's beautiful. I've flown over it many times on airlines, pretty low. It's beautiful. There's nothing, because it's undeveloped. It's, because it's communist. It's not really developed. And sometimes on our cruises, we always go around Cuba, and sometimes we get really close and good views of Cuba.
Yeah,
there's no resorts, no high rises, there's nothing. But anyway, this guy from Star Wars, he was talking about how he had this chance to see Castro speak. It was really far out of Havana, like some town somewhere else in Cuba. So he hired a driver to take him. And he said every town they had to stop and get gas. He could never get enough gas to fill his car up. And they spent a day and a half trying to get to this place, and they could never get enough gas to go in to actually get to the destination. So they had to come back to Havana. And he still thinks communism's great. He just thought that was so cool. I don't understand these Hollywood people.
Maybe because they're so used to directors telling them what to do.
Maybe.
They like
actors are monkeys.
They like these dictators. Yeah. Because they like people having control over them, because that's their job.
They're monkeys.
If you watch behind the scenes of acting, when actors tell you how if they go on an interview and tell you, that I decided to do this, that's all baloney. They do whatever their director tells them to do. And if you watch any behind the scenes where you can hear the director's voice, they are literally telling them what to do every movement. Do this. Okay, put your hand up here now.
Yeah.
That's how it is in acting, and maybe that's why they like these dictators, because they're used to being bossed around.
So Walz, I mean, he was only announced a few hours ago, and there hasn't been one redeeming thing about this guy that's come out. This one,
the media is just freaking out over this combination.
This guy. Let me play this for you. This is nuts. I was saving the best for last, Kathy.
Okay.
This is Walz.
I've been focusing on, and I lived in China, and as I said, I've been there about 30 times, but if someone tells you they're an expert on China, they're probably not telling you the truth, because it's a complex country, but it's critically important for us. I don't fall into the category that China necessarily needs to be an adversarial relationship. I totally disagree.
Okay. Well, do you know what he did? He's in China like 30 times and all this stuff. He lived in China. Do you know what he did, Kathy? He did public relations for the Chinese Communist Party.
Wow.
He actually worked in public relations for the Chinese Communist Party.
Incredible.
And he wants to be vice president of the United States.
All this is going to come out.
Something's weird about this.
With Trump and J.D. Vance, they're going to expose all of this. Trump has another rally coming up this weekend. I think it's in Montana. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, he's got another exciting rally coming up, which I can't wait for. And he did say he's going to go back to Butler, but I don't know if that's going to happen. He was just in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, so maybe he will. What do you guys think? Do you think he should go back to Butler? I don't know if that's such a great idea. I mean, I'm sure he'd be safe. I can't imagine. But I think he really wants to do it. But, I wonder if he worries about the safety of the people now, because I know it really upset him that people were hurt at his rallies.
Believe me, they'll have the army there.
I mean, so, maybe he's hesitating because he's like, I don't want anybody else to get hurt here.
They'll probably have the National Guard there.
But I know he wants to go back and prove prove that I can come back.
Before Trump was running for president and was even talking about it, when the World Trade Centers got knocked down, he had a plan and he put in a bid to rebuild them, but they hated him even then, so they didn't let him do it. And I remember I saw Donald Trump on with Cavuto. And he was talking about his proposal to rebuild the World Trade Centers. That thing they built is just ugly. He wanted to rebuild replicas of the original towers and and he said, I want to make each of them 1 story higher as an FU to the guys that did it. And I thought that was such a brilliant thing. So he's big into statements. And going back to Butler is just like that.
Yeah, I think so. Now, I think he wants to do it, but he might be concerned, about safety, but I'm sure they would take every precaution now.
Of course, you guys know Mike Lindell and MyPillow have been sponsors and supporters of our program for many years. Mm-hmm. And I saw Mike, I'm not going to play this for you, just tell you about it. I saw an interview with Mike Lindell today from MyPillow. Oh. And he said that Walz was trying to shut him down and get him thrown out of Minnesota.
I believe it. Because
MyPillow is MAGA, is pro-Trump. So, so he didn't want him in Minnesota.
Yeah, I believe it.
And
incredible.
That's, of course, if those of you that don't know, Mike Lindell and MyPillow are based out of Minnesota.
This guy is just, he's a radical.
He's a communist.
Complete control
Worked for the CCP.
Freak. Yeah, I mean, he literally is a communist.
Hardcore. And a proud one.
Yeah, I think that this guy was her last pick, and I think it's true that nobody I think Obama and
like
Pelosi.
Mikey with the cereal.
Yeah, they put out the word to these other people and said they weren't happy, and they said don't say yes, don't do it. She's going to lose. It'll destroy your career. And I don't think they wanted her to be the pick, and I think Biden came out and endorsed her as an FU. To them, I think they were. I read Obama wanted Kelly they wanted to have
to be the nominee.
To be the nominee, they wanted to decide at the convention, and they just
China
gave it
agent.
to her. And so exactly, it doesn't matter.
You know what
Trump said? It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
You know what it's like? It's like Obama put the word out on the street: "Don't work with Kamala."
Yeah, which is the opposite of what we thought.
And this lunatic,
I thought they were working together.
I always thought that Obama put her in that place, and we find out her husband, his company is partnered with China. So China put her there. And now this guy did public relations for the CCP, Walz. This is nuts what's going on in this country.
It is.
It is really going.
It's amazing how China has infiltrated our government.
In ways we don't even understand.
It's
as much as we know, we only know the tip of the iceberg. Now, you guys heard what I just said, that Walz tried to throw Mike Lindell and MyPillow out of Minnesota, tried to shut him down there, give him a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Lindell was talking about this today. And, MyPillow has been a strong supporter of this program for many years. And I know you guys have supported them through using our promo code Kane at checkout. And these deals, Kathy, at MyPillow.com are amazing.
They are amazing.
There are so many items for just $25. The Giza Elegance pillows. These are like the hotel quality MyPillows. These are the pillows that they have like at Mar-a-Lago. The Giza Elegance MyPillows, $25. The MyPillow towel sets, $25. The MyPillow sheets, $25. With our promo code Kane, of course, Kane. The MyPillow sandals and slippers, $25. The MyPillow dog beds and pet beds, $25.
Where are you going to get Christmas gifts that are such good quality at that price? I mean, this is where you should start your Christmas shopping, is at MyPillow.com, and load up. You really will find something for everybody. I couldn't go to Walmart or Target and find a decent gift worth giving. I'd be hard-pressed these days for $25.
Exactly.
And here you can just shop online, get all your gifts sent to you, and wrap them, put them under the tree, and you're ready to go and have everybody covered. And I'm telling you, I mean, you really would have a hard time finding it. It is hard shopping for Christmas, especially I don't know, like it's really hard to buy for my parents and stuff. And sometimes it's hard. People that are hard to shop for, like they have everything. So you're like, well, what do I get this person? You will never go wrong with getting them nice towels or a nice new set of sheets, or
even
something.
The pillows.
The pillows, it is something they will use every day. It is not something that'll get thrown out or get put in a closet. And the prices are, I'm telling you, this is where people should do their Christmas shopping. Start there before you go anywhere else.
And, when we give MyPillows, the different MyPillow products as gifts, the people we give them to, every time we see them, they talk to us about them.
We do. We give them out as gifts. We have things shipped to people. We have things shipped to our daughter when she moved to LA. Yeah. We've had things we give to everybody in our family and some friends we have. Yeah, we got things to them.
We got our daughter a mattress topper. And the
pillows,
the
the mattress topper, the sheets, we got the whole thing.
And we just had it shipped to her house. We used our promo code Kane, of course, Kane, and you do the same. When you use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at mypillow.com, you are supporting all the content that I'm connected to. The podcast here with Kathy, the radio show, my YouTube channel, everything. And it's greatly appreciated. And I talk to Mike Lindell and his people all the time, and they are blown away at the incredible response from this audience. And I want to thank you all for your support of us through using our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at mypillow.com. Well, we're out of time for today. This is going to be a great 3 months with this campaign, with this lunatic that Kamala Harris has made her running mate. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We will talk to you next time.